Humphries. I'm your speaker. I'll be talking to you about adoption. There are millions of children around the world that are without homes. With that being said, do any of you know anybody that's homeless? Or how about a homeless child? According to Ministry of Children and Family Services, there are 273,000 children that are without homes. We call them orphans. Now with that in mind, do you believe that one day you will adopt one of these children? Why not? I would. Reason being because I grew up in a foster home. And if it wasn't for that family taking me in, providing for me, and taking care of me like I was one of their own, I would be in the streets in Cleveland, Ohio, running around. Who knows what would happen to me? I am thankful that that family took me in. My goal is to get each and every one of you to consider adoption or becoming a foster care provider. One of the problems is overcrowded orphanages. A simple solution: becoming a foster care provider or becoming an adoption, opening up your homes. Another problem is teenage and unplanned pregnancy. These women have three options. Like I said, it's not unheard of for a woman to have a child outside of a hospital and drop the baby off at an orphanage with a sign saying, "Please take care of my baby." Or they put the child up for adoption. Now, why are orphanages overcrowded? In the United States, we have 500,000 orphanages, group homes, and group homes that are overcrowded. Statistically, that's 1 in 7, 1 in 12 kids that are living in some type of state-provided function or organization. Group homes, orphanages. Now, we all have family members that we care about. And we all believe that this can happen to one of them or one of us. I was also so naive. I had a sister who was incarcerated for a year with 5 kids. State took her kids away and was going to place them into foster care or an orphanage. I had another sister with 5 kids. She became a temporary foster care provider so that she can keep her nieces and nephews together. Now keep in mind, these orphanages are overcrowded with limited resources. Though state provides basic service, it is not enough. This is why it's important for you and everyone else to consider adoption or becoming a foster care provider to keep these kids out of the orphanages. With that being said, let's talk about teenage pregnancy. In the United States, we have the highest rate of teen and unplanned pregnancy in the world. 34% of young women are pregnant before they reach age 20. Now, what happened to these kids? They become part of the 273,000 statistics of kids being in orphanages, placed in foster care, or just being on the streets. Think about if one of these women were your relatives or your sister or even your daughter. Your daughter who got pregnant when she was a teenager and have yet to experience her life. Would you let that child get put in an orphanage, put in placed in foster care, or would you adopt that child and raise it as your own? Think about it. We all have the power and ability to change these statistics. All we have to do is open up our homes. Now let's talk about the process of adoption. Adoption is governed by state laws in the United States. Though the laws vary from state to state, there's ethics that need to be considered in this process. The adoption process: first, you need to learn all the information you can about adoption. Then decide whether you want to adopt domestically, internationally, or from the foster care program. Then you select an agency or attorney to help you with the process, smooth the paperwork, help you with the paperwork and whatnot. Then you can take classes. The government provides you with classes that will help you with this process. Next, when it comes to adopting a foster child, it's a little more difficult. This is the main reason why people do not consider adoption, because foster children are teenagers, young adults, or children who was neglected or physically abused at some point in their life. And they fear that these children may cause problems in their home. But like I said before, government and state agencies provide you with the information and classes to help you mentor and nurture that child. In conclusion, there are approximately 273 children without homes and living in orphanages. Remember that most orphans come from unplanned pregnancy and teenage pregnancy. I strongly advise each and every one of you to go out and become a foster care provider, or at least considering adoption. The Hagu Adoption Convention has a saying: recognize that a child should grow up in a family environment, in an atmosphere of happiness, with love and understanding. Thank you. Is there any questions?
Who can adopt?
Adopted parents can be married or single. You can have a child in the home or without a home.
Does having a history of personal counseling, can that eliminate you as a candidate?
No. It will not eliminate you as a candidate. Long as you're not a registered pedophile and you are willing to provide stability for a child, you are eligible and you can adopt.
What are the requirements to adopt an infant?
The requirements to adopting an infant is you have to be married for 1 to 3 years. All right, 1 to 3 years. No history of domestic abuse or being a registered pedophile. Thank you.